new day, and it's a wonderful day to start a very relevant topic. This is your host, Laarni Kaina Salibay, and welcome to the History Home. And for today's talk of history, I have invited two students who studied and still studying about history. Help me from welcoming Miss Erica Reville and Miss Sean Luis Calipis. So, I prepared 4 questions to be answered by the both of you.
Okay.
It's definitely have your own views in histories that will be tackled. So, to start with, allow me to ask you both on how are you feeling today's guesting?
I feel honored and excited at the same time to share my thoughts and some sort of ideas that I'm going to impart to everyone.
Yes, me as well. I'm happy and excited to be here, being with everyone who I know are also very excited for today's talk.
Oh, so let's start ASAP. So for the first question, if you have lived during the time of the Americans in the Philippines, how would you have responded to the policies they introduced to our country?
I think if I have lived during the time of the Americans in the Philippines, I would also be grateful with the good actions that they've been offered to our country to help us be free from the colonization of the Spaniards. But a part of me will still not be at ease with the fact that they are still a foreign country who can also do the same thing as the Spaniards.
Yes, even me, I will also have doubt with their motives in helping us, especially that they're also a foreign country. How can we rely to other country when we have experienced more than a nightmare on being a colony by the outsiders? And they are no exception. So even if they have been showed a good and progressive propagandas, I don't think we can rely to them.
Yes, I agree to the both of you. So for the second question, how did the Filipinos react to the military and civil government established by the Americans?
I think during the reigns of the Americans, propaganda was not that genuine at all. They were just hiding from their outer face to hide their true motives. So having the goals that if they show goodness to the Filipinos, sooner or later they can have the control to the whole country of the Philippines. So the moment that the United States established the military and civil government here in our country, the Filipinos have their way to go against with the Americans to free from future dominations and achieve independence.
Yes, I agree. Literally, the Filipinos stand their part to stop the goal of the Americans who start in occupying force for their own sake by expanding their territorial base, which they have been cited in the Philippines for commercial use that they wanted to rule over Asia.
Yes, I would react the same thing because there's no exemption in colonizing. So, okay, for the third question, what sparked the Filipinos' desire to achieve independence?
I think the turning point of the Filipinos that arose their desire to achieve independence is when they think of their first war against Spaniards' colonizations. The war go against with the Spanish governance that shows inequality, violence, and maltreatment toward the Filipinos. Then the Americans came and free us from Spanish colonization. But apart from the goodness they give to the Filipinos, sooner their real motives arises. The Americans show violence and killed number of people, including a little boy to be specific, that exposed their true motives. that lead again to a war against the Americans. Those kind of events are traumatizing to them, so they've rise to strongly achieve our independence.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree. That is really the turning point of the Filipinos that desires them to achieve independence. Okay, so for the fourth question, or last question, how would you describe and assess the present government under President Rodrigo Duterte?
Encompasses to President Rodrigo Duterte's time. Now, we have a strong democratic governance that allows people to do everything they want but in moderation. The government itself becomes more transparent, and President Duterte always look and do what he thinks is best for his people. So he offers a lot of opportunities, especially in the field of education. Filipinos have smoother access to education because of the free tuition. Also in health assistance in public hospitals, together with the 4Ps and senior citizens beneficiary. So as we can see, we are living in democratic governance, being led by a strong but soft-hearted President Rodrigo Duterte.
I agree with that. President Rodrigo done a lot of things for the sake and the betterness of our nation and its people.
Yes, President Duterte is the best. So, thank you for being here with us today. Did you guys enjoy it? So stay updated for the next episode. Again, this is your host, La Arnica Saribay, and this is The History Home.